Two Americans stand in the same courthouse hallway, same building, same judge, same charge. They're both nervous. They both made a mistake. Neither of them thinks this moment will define their life. But only one of them is right. Because in the United States, there is a legal line so powerful that crossing it can permanently change who you are allowed to be. That line is the difference between a misdemeanor and a felony. One word can decide whether you go home tonight, whether you ever own a firearm again, whether you can vote, whether employers trust you, whether society forgives you. This is not just about crime. This is about identity, rights, and second chances. Tonight, we explain felony versus misdemeanor, not as legal definitions, but as real-life consequences. Most Americans hear the words felony and misdemeanor and assume they simply mean big crime and small crime. But the U.S. criminal justice system doesn't work that simply. These labels decide how long you can be incarcerated, decide where you serve time, decide which rights survive your conviction, decide how society treats you afterward. In America, the punishment does not always end when the sentence ends, and nothing proves that more than a felony conviction. A misdemeanor is considered a less serious criminal offense under U.S. law. By definition, a misdemeanor is punishable by up to 1 year in a local or county jail, fines, probation, community service. Misdemeanors are handled in state courts, not federal courts. Common misdemeanor charges include petty theft, simple assault, trespassing, disorderly conduct, first-time DUI in many states, possession of small amounts of drugs, depending on state law. The legal philosophy behind misdemeanors is simple. This behavior is wrong, but it does not permanently endanger society. The system assumes the offender can be corrected. Many states divide misdemeanors into levels: Class A, Class B, Class C. Class A misdemeanors are the most serious and can result in close to a year in jail. Class C misdemeanors may result in fines only. This matters because not all misdemeanors are equal, and prosecutors often use these categories to pressure plea deals. Even though misdemeanors are considered less serious, they are not harmless. A misdemeanor conviction can appear on background checks, impact employment, affect housing applications, increase future sentencing. But for most Americans, voting rights remain intact. Firearm rights often remain intact. Professional futures are still possible. Many misdemeanors can eventually be sealed, expunged, reduced. A misdemeanor is often a temporary scar, not a permanent brand. A felony is the most serious category of crime in the United States. Felonies are punishable by more than 1 year in prison, heavy fines, long-term supervision, permanent civil consequences. Felonies may be prosecuted in state court, federal court, for federal crimes. Common felony charges include robbery, burglary, drug trafficking, serious assault, white-collar fraud, sexual offenses. Homicide. A felony conviction signals something very different to society. Legally, it says, this person has committed a serious breach of public trust. Here's the truth most people don't understand until it's too late. A felony sentence continues long after prison ends. A convicted felon may lose the right to own or possess firearms, the right to vote, depending on the state, eligibility for jury service, access to certain professional licenses felons often face, employment rejection, housing denial, financial instability, social stigma. In some states, these consequences last for life. Some crimes sit in a legal gray area. They can be charged as either a misdemeanor or a felony. These are known as wobbler offenses. Common wobblers include theft assault, drug possession, Fraud, domestic violence. What decides the charge? Prior criminal history, amount of loss or injury, prosecutorial discretion, quality of legal defense. Two people commit the same act. One walks away with probation, the other walks away with a felony record. In the U.S., prosecutors have enormous power. They decide how charges are filed, whether to reduce or enhance charges, whether to offer plea deals. This means your future may depend on negotiation. Legal representation can change outcomes. Knowledge of the law matters. This is why legal experts say the charge matters more than the crime. Two young adults steal electronics. One steals $950. The other steals $1,050. One receives a misdemeanor. The other receives a felony. That $100 difference can decide. Jail versus prison, employment versus rejection, voting versus silence. The line is thinner than people realize. You don't have to commit a violent crime to face felony consequences. Felony charges can come from financial mistakes, protests, online behavior, self-defense cases, drug possession. The law does not judge intent alone. It judges classification. Felony versus misdemeanor is not about morality alone. It's about power access, opportunity redemption. The system does not ask, "Who are you?" It asks, "What label will follow you?" In America, freedom isn't only about innocence or guilt. It's about what the law calls you. One word can open doors. One word can close them forever. Understand the difference, because one charge can change your life, long after the case is closed. If this video helped you understand the U.S. justice system, like, subscribe, and comment. Which legal topic should we break down next? Because the law is not just rules, it's real people and real consequences.